Imagine you're right in the middle of Tehran, a city with over 15 million people, and suddenly, everything collapses. Not just once, not just yesterday, over decades. Revolution, war, uprisings, transformation. A city that has been reinvented multiple times throughout history, and still never stands still. Why? Stay tuned. This is the story of a city that never gives up. Today, Tehran is loud and vibrant, a melting pot of people from across the country. Persians, Kurds, Baloch, Armenians, Assyrians. In the Grand Bazaar, over 10 kilometers of passageways full of merchants, mosques, caravanserais, and banks. They sell carpets, spices, and stories. This bazaar was also the spark that ignited the 1979 revolution. Merchants supported the uprising against the Shah and helped change the political system. Tehran today, a place full of contrasts, tradition versus modernity, freedom versus control, hope versus unrest. But where does this city even come from? The first mention of Tehran dates back to the 10th century. Back then, not a center, but a small village of fruit gardens and cave dwellings near the ancient city of Ray, a major early Iranian city. Tehran was strategically located, protected by the Alborz Mountains to the north, water from nearby rivers, and yet on an important east-west axis, ideal for agriculture, trade, and later political control. But the nearby great city of Ray was destroyed by the Mongols in the 13th century. The inhabitants fled, many to the caves and settlements around Tehran. So, the once tiny settlement slowly took shape. Under the Safavids' 16th century, a citadel, city walls, and bazaars were built, and the place began to establish itself as a fortified city. Under various rulers, from Shah Abbas I to the Zand dynasty with Karim Khan Zand, Tehran slowly grew. The bazaar became the economic center. Streets were laid out, mosques and public buildings emerged. But the decisive turning point comes in 1786. Aga Muhammad Khan Qajar, founder of the Qajar dynasty, officially makes Tehran his resident city and the capital of Persia. There, he is crowned Shah in 1796. The political significance explodes. Under the Qajars, the city expands rapidly. Squares like Imam Khomeini Square, originally Tupkhane, Cannon Square, emerge around 1867 as the city grows and the old structure is renewed. Magnificent palaces, administrative buildings, mosques, and madrasas appear. The Golestan Palace becomes the center of power. Tehran grows. In 1857, the first city wall falls to make room for expansion. Later, broad streets are laid out in European style. By 1883, Tehran counts over 100,000 inhabitants, larger than any other city in Persia. Even before Reza Shah, Tehran began to reinvent itself politically. The Constitutional Revolution of 1905 to 1911. Merchants, clerics, and intellectuals struck in the bazaar, took sanctuary in mosques, and forced the first constitution and a parliament, the Majlis, in 1906. For the first time in Iranian history, the absolute ruler was checked. Tehran stood at the center of this struggle for freedom. Under Reza Shah Pahlavi, 1925 to 1941, came the great modernization push. The city bursts its old boundaries. Ravines are built over. A geometric street grid emerges. Railways and Mehrabad Airport open. The population skyrockets. But in 1941, British and Soviet troops occupy Iran. Reza Shah is forced to abdicate. Tehran becomes the venue for the Tehran Conference in 1943, where Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin plan the post-war world order. This progress also creates social tensions, urbanization, labor migration, housing shortages. Many migrants come from rural areas seeking work. In 1953, a CIA-backed coup against Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh shakes the city. Thousands dead. The Shah is reinstated with full power. This event fuels decades of resistance. 1978 to 1979, Tehran becomes the center of one of the most consequential revolutions of modern times, the Islamic Revolution. Decades of resistance against the Shah culminate in mass protests. Decisive demonstrations on Freedom Square, Azadi Square, topple the Shah regime. In the same year, the U.S. Embassy is occupied. An event that triggers decades of geopolitical tensions. But just a year later, the Iran-Iraq War breaks out. 1980 to 1988. Tehran is hit by rockets multiple times. Civilians die. The war shapes an entire generation. On the vast Beheshti Zahra cemetery rest thousands of victims of this war. A memorial of the time. After the war, Tehran continues to grow. The population rises to over 10 million. Streets congest. Housing programs try to channel migrant flows. Satellite cities emerge. But challenges remain. Massive air pollution, water scarcity, traffic gridlock, and earthquake risk shape daily life. Society is changing. Young generations, new cultural spaces, underground art, political tension between reformers and hardliners. The city pulses, but it breathes heavily. In 2009, the protests of the Green Movement shake the streets. In 2022, the Woman Life Freedom uprisings follow the death of Mahsa Amini. Tehran, a city of extremes. Born as a fruit garden, shaped by dynasties and the Constitutional Revolution, marked by coups, World War conferences, war and reconstruction. Full of people, energy, culture, and contradictions. Poor and rich. Tradition and modernity. Hope and struggle. This is not a finished city. This is Tehran, a city in flux.